on the 7 deadly sins.
Because I was banished. She kept this hidden behind that tapestry. Reliving the Pecco. And I honestly have no idea where to start with that.
Extends her wings. She just flies off.
I'm gonna follow her.
Me and the boys hanging out in the trees.
Wings begin to mend.
Wait a damn... This was Selby, did you son of a bitch!
And the feathers just disappear and turn into a gust of wind. You see that through the rainbow flies Ingrid, who lands on your shoulder. Come here.
What?
So,
What? I don't know if I'm okay.
I speak for the
I am
trees.
Trinellist. I speak for the trees.
A bull, a cat, a bear, a fox, an eagle, and an owl into each of the trees.
Now what, though? That's... Anyone have any ideas?
Can I just go over to it and just, like... try to, like, pull it? It worked with the last one, it's gonna work here!
Or...
Wait, Bolt!
Wait,
Hold on.
Using all of your strength against it, you watch as the bull...
Yeah.
That's
exactly what I thought. It's a different ability check.
A kind of an archway made of vines and leaves grow from the center of the stump where all of the animals were facing. It's a like twisting and turning maze.
Yeah, it's a plant. I'm gonna talk to it.
Says, hi.
Hi. Just ask the tree spirits.
You're gonna have to ask the teachers. They're fighting. They're mad. Like they did before.
I see.
Ah. I see. I understand everything now. I have no idea what's going on.
It seems to be druidic runes are written in top.
What does it say?
It seems to say, welcome to the show. Hello! It seems our contestants have joined us.
Are we gonna have to play Family
what was the opening? What was the
Feud
opening
in
line?
D&D?
Dude, that'd be bad. That'd be amazing.
Killer! Looks like you're moving on to the final round! Hi!
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome, everybody.
Let's all double check that everybody can be heard. Is it working for is it all good?
Sophia here playing as PJ.
Let's all round off. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sophia here playing as PJ.
I'm
Ben
Aaron.
here playing as Kamir.
I'm Aaron, I'm the DM.
Hope so. Sophia here playing as Ruby.
Here, wait, go one at a time.
I know that. Sophia here playing as Ruby.
I'm Zach playing as Trinellus.
Lucas playing as Muriel.
Hooray.
I'm Kanan playing as Ashielra.
Okay, cool. So, can you hear us all okay? Is it coming through?
I can hear just fine from the stream.
Sweet, it's working. Sweet, awesome. So you can hear everybody? Everybody can be heard. With the druidic runes of welcome to the show. 3 contestants made it to the final part of the round, which they were Kamir, PJ, and Ruby, as this, brightly colored eagle spirit wanting a fantabulous show kind of beckoned you all forward as kind of this in this bombastic flourish. Everyone else is sort of kind of sitting now in the crowd as you see everything is kind of like twisted and moved around in different parts. And the lights is kind of almost dimmed, almost like there's like an intermission briefly. What would you guys like to do?
While this is going on, can I use this this whole span for a short rest?
Sure, I'll allow it. If you're going to sit there in the audience, it'll be like a 30-minute show. Sure. If you're not in the show, you can get a short rest. I'll allow it.
Perfect.
You are not me.
Kind of standing here, arms crossed, very much like this is not my deal.
You see that like it's the atmosphere of the theater in the round has actually changed just a little bit. It seems a little more like anticipatory and a little more elegant. You see like little balls of kind of blue light kind of just bobble and sit and giving this very very moody lighting. You see like little little white flowers beginning to kind of just grow on the side, and fluorescent mushrooms are kind of growing up the side of these, like ruined stairs that you're sitting on. You also are all sitting, and you can hear the of crickets that are kind of next to all of you.
Crickets.
Sure, what do you say?
So, how long have you been here? Do you have
can PJ
understanding-
tell this is an illusion?
Do you have an understanding of time? Okay,
What?
you don't. Great. The eagle, that's charisma, right? Does he have another name? Do you understand what that means?
They're dumb. They're not very intelligent. They're like, I guess. Probably.
Hang on, hold on. Shush. Do I have 8 hours to cast Awaken?
No. I have 8 hours.
Oh.
So, kind of, as this conversation
You're going to
is going
cast
on,
Awaken on what? A single cricket?
Yep.
you see that
I
Ashley
want a friend,
like,
I want to name Jiminy.
you guys all here who are sitting in the audience by Trinalis, just Trinalis going, sure. And while that's going on, Kamir, PJ, and Ruby, you see that there's almost been like this curtain of a wall of flowers that have been put between you and the rest of your teammates, almost like a backstage area. As you're kind of like sitting there being ushered into this so quickly after like hearing you're moving on to the final round and this gust of wind pushing you back, you see that the eagle spirit kind of almost like saunters up to you. Alrighty then. What do we have here? We have... interesting. And you see that his like elongated fluorescent like feather like kind of tickles kind of the side of your cheek, Ruby. Your domain has certain powers in here. How do you think everything grows so chaotically? Queen Titania, isn't that right? I haven't seen you in ages, darling. How are you?
Titania,
Great.
is she here?
I'm
Oh my god.
not necessarily Titania, but I'll eventually be there, shall we say.
Oh, I'm always bad with the weird timing stuff. Well, you'll be there eventually. I'm sure we'll meet again soon. And you, child, Pavok Nosib, is that right?
It's your boy!
I'm sorry, what?
Rhyme in French.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you say that name? Kamir's just like... Kamir's been trying to... has like done a small thing in his head where he's been trying to figure out how to say PJ's name this whole time.
It's all in the flourish, my darling. It's all in the flourish. That being said, you are quite a man of theatrics yourself. Old man Kamir you go by. Is that right, Chiron?
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic stage name. Well, wonderful. I think you are befitting for this show, but you all three are contestants. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Believe me. We know.
And there can only be one winner. And as your reward for winning a
Wait.
fantastic show of mine, you get two things. First, an opportunity. My old friend Al would say that knowledge for the sake of knowledge is all it takes, but no, I think that stuff needs to be earned, needs to be performed for, needs to be put into action, if you say. Really.
Amen.
Thank you. And secondly, you will receive a more material gift, something all us spirits possess, and is necessary for you to continue on this foolish path of trying to reunite all of us. Stupid. Futile, never going to do it, but, you know, we always love an underdog, don't we? Don't we? So, whoever wins this little competition of mine you will get the
Wait a minute.
opportunity to perform in the show of a lifetime.
What do you? Why are you saying how? Why are you saying it's so futile? Why are you so convinced?
We fought before, and it nearly brought the entirety of Zekra to its knees. I mean, it was only Pekka who was able to actually reunite all of us, but, she's dead now.
Hang on. Upon hearing, does Janelle
You do
hear
not
this
hear
with,
this.
with
You
a
do not hear
26 passive
You're too quiet.
perception?
You're talking to your crickets.
Yeah, you're talking to crickets, dude.
Sure.
In all honesty, I don't. But you are the best chance I have of completing what I need to do. So, shall we say, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Guess I could say I understand that, but, I don't. Anyway, so where do you come from, Ash?
On the spot, dude.
Riveting conversation.
Ares, who has, he's bad, he's very impatient, he's like, yes, please?
You see, like, what would be eyebrows, but are actually, like, just another pair of eyelids kind of just furrow.
Nice.
Furrowed eyes.
Just...
Please.
He's trying so hard, bless him.
Oh,
Are
bless
you
your
familiar
heart.
with the Droskin dynasty?
I am not. I come from Panmark. I live a very closeted life. Sorry, I came across as
So
more.
all right, just Zach chiming in, because this is my world. It's not the Droskin dynasty, it's just the Droskin stronghold. There's no official name of the government of Iroth, because there's so many, loose confederacies. But the
Those
Droskin
damn
dynasty
Confederates.
was House Glaive would be more accurate. I'm sorry, I'll shut up now.
It's my backstory.
It's my world!
You have PTSD. You're allowed to be wrong.
PTXD.
That too. I honestly am not sure how far from home I am.
Did
both
you?
in the sense of place and time.
Did you walk here, or did you take a boat, airship?
I think I walked.
Alrighty.
May have crawled.
Wait, what?
Ares kind of does the awkward thing where he kind of presses himself up off his hands, so he's kind of lifting himself up out of his chair. He's just like, well, that's great.
Do I even know if it was east or west that I started traveling to wind up here?
You were sort of kind of just almost stuck in such a tunnel vision of being pulled in whatever direction the blood barrier wanted you to go in. It was almost not even pulling you. But
So just far.
Far. So, as you're having that conversation, Lucas, you wanted to do something? I mean, not Lucas. Mirio, you wanted to do something? Okay. So while that's happening,
Wait, hold on.
we're gonna go ahead and then shift focus back.
Hold on.
Hold
Aaron,
up.
no, Lucas is trying to say something.
Oh,
Hold on.
sorry.
say that as I put sushi in my mouth, yes. I'm just gonna go sit in an isolated corner, bring out some vial of holy water, some incense, and I'm going to start ritual casting commune. So by the time this thing's over, it should activate. Just I want to say that.
So you're kind of like, you watch as like Mirio Strudiflus like kind of just been like looking at his hands for a while and kind of just gets up in the corner and kind of finds an isolated location and sits down and begins burning. You see that there are several like animals that kind of scurry up and just kind of sit down and want to watch what you're doing. Like a squirrel, a rabbit, just kind of just all looking at what you're doing. And while that's happening,
Where in the hells have you been?
while that's happening, back to the conversation backstage. Well, things really are getting down to, shall we say, how you mortals call it. I don't know what you mortals call it. You're just getting, we're getting close to showtime, and I'm very excited.
Getting down to the wire.
That's
No,
what
I
it
think
was. That's what it was.
So, you think that I look like Titania? And I'm like, beaming.
No,
I'm like,
sorry, darling. I don't read. I can't see mortals. This is just their spirits that lie within them. So it's hard for me to differentiate such inefficient things like time and space.
how did you know that I will soon to be Titania?
Oh, you just reek of it, darling. Well, you better use that chaotic energy to good use, because you three competitors are up in 3, 2, 1. And you see that, as you say wait, that the wings like kind of give this flourish outward, and you feel the same kind of wind usher you forward. And you can see that the lights and like where the audience are begin to dim. And 3 raised stone platforms are beset before each of you. Kind of almost like a small stage in the section where you're standing. What are each of you doing?
Kamir's kind of looking around, like, so, like, what are we doing? What's going on?
Do we have to work together?
Break the fourth wall, darling, and you can see that kind of almost like instantaneously, that the eagle is now just sitting in the center of the audience, just like watching you.
You say
You
to
want us-
break or not to break?
Begin! Let the festivities start!
What do you want us to do?
Before! Give me a show, give me something interesting.
PJ watches Ruby and Kamir just like freak out, like, what do we do? We're on the spot.
No. Ruby is just waiting. Ruby's like catwalking. Ruby likes being popular in a sense. Sometimes it's grown on her. So she's like waving and like she still has like, you know, a skip in her step. She's like, oh, someone else is gonna be Titania. You know, someone like thing like that.
At this point, sorry, you can go.
No, I was just gonna say that I'm gonna be rummaging through my bag and just pulling out things.
Okay, so Ruby, what are you pulling out to aid in your performance?
So specifically, I'm pulling out my alchemy jug.
Okay.
I'm also pulling out my fire-breathing vial that's outdated.
Oh no, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, no. Someone's gonna get Tabasco breath.
Then I'm also...
You have an expired fire jug?
Oh, you have no idea. And then I'm also gonna pull out a bottle of elven wine.
Okay. So as you watch Ruby begins to kind of almost like a magician's assistant, pulling out these like things from her bag and kind of showing them off to everybody. Placing the wine down, the alchemy jug, and kind of last but not least, taking the very old and kind of dusty vial of fire breathing and showing it off to the crowd who kind of ooh and ah as it glitters in the light of this kind of contrasting. It glows kind of this orange light, but it contrasts with the kind of faint blue fluorescent of the mushrooms.
Question, would I be able to, in this scenario, use control water with mayonnaise, please?
I'll say,
The actual
Oh,
person?
no.
Roll an intelligence check.
Oh no.
This is just
While Ruby's, you know what, Aaron? While Ruby's doing that, I'm gonna go up to, like, Kamir's gonna be like, "I got it," and he's gonna go up to PG and be like, "Do you want to dance? You want to do a dance?" with
you're
me?"
on two separate platforms. Like you're about like
Oh,
like,
we are.
Yeah, you're about like 10 feet from each other on different platforms. But
Yeah, I
kind
don't
of,
think you said
kind of, like,
that, but
while yeah, sorry. There's like 3 different stone like pillars that you guys have each been raised up onto. While Ruby is kind of getting off this performance and this flourish, kind of getting ready for her main act, Kamira, you kind of taking the moment while she's pulling focus to kind of whisper this aside to PJ.
yeah, like, do you think we'd be able to dance together somehow?
Would you perhaps be able to dance while I sing?
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't take you for a singer, PJ, but yeah, that would be a wonderful idea.
Okay, so Ruby, because you started your performance first, what is the main act of your performance going to be?
Oh, it's gonna be very explosive and chaotic. So you see Ruby and her eyes just piercingly glow red, okay, and they like die down. So
Oohs and ahs, as they see you bring out these strange vials, and your eyes change mysterious colors, and they're just enthralled.
By the way, I rolled a 24. I rolled really, really well on my intelligence check.
Okay, so yeah, okay. So I thought you would say you was a performance. So you watch as Ruby sort of like her eyes flaring red, kind of messes profoundly with the fabrics of the weave, and manages to you can see it's actually painful and like kind of it's a struggle for her, but she manages to almost like water bend this mayonnaise and like move it in like strange she kind of move it all around her. Okay.
A performance check or no?
What are you doing? What are you doing with this? Like as you're like moving it around you.
Trying to like move it like around like the like arena, like just to like understand, show the crowd, make them rile up, etc.
You're like some like you watch as like a raccoon comes up and just like grabs a little bit of it and just starts eating it.
And as I'm doing this, I'm going to quickly uncork the bottle of Ellen wine.
Okay. As you're kind of like focusing on this, you uncork the bottle and it out. And what do you do?
I'm going to down that vial of outdated fire breath.
Okay, with the wine?
With the wine and the mayonnaise like circling around, like.
Oh, you're also trying to bend the mayonnaise. You probably can't also bend the wine with you, but you can like throw it up in the air.
I throw it up in the air and have the wine splurt out.
Okay, so Ruby, as you're continuing to move throughout this mayonnaise, you throw up the wine in the air and it has it all over you. You down the vial of fire breathing, and I'm assuming you're gonna cause this big explosion with the mayonnaise and the alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, so as you down it, go ahead and roll a performance check for me.
Oh, yes. That was another 19. That's really, really good. And that's charisma, right?
19,
20.
A 20, okay. So, Ruby kind of downs the vial. You watch as within her, like, you see she's gonna you feel like you're gonna hurl, as it's like this fire breath is not, not an updated one, and you take...
Not FDA approved.
Not FDA approved. You take 5...
Past its sell-by date.
13 points of fire damage as you feel it burn as you go down, but you kind of release this visceral kind of blue licking tongue of fire that then flares out into a brilliant orange and expands and combusts, exploding in each of the different like sections of alcohol and mayonnaise, creating these like little fireworks that just squirt out everywhere, and you end with a flourish of kind of almost like the Agni Kai from Avatar: The Last Airbender. All right, Ruby, as you're kind of like heaving and hawing, PJ and Kamir are beginning to kind of set up their performance.
Yes. I turn Ingrid into the staff again.
Okay. You watch as Kamir kind of twists around Ingrid, who flies around him, and kind of simultaneously she transforms into the staff, and he kind of presses it next to him, creating this steady beat.
Yes.
with that,
I'm like
going-
tapping it on the ground in time.
The crowd begins to clap along.
and I just
What are you
like
guys doing?
look at you guys. That's it. I know I know I'm lost.
I am going to. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna begin to leap around the platform.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Fog Cloud so that as I'm leaping, like this, like kind of like mist comes from the tip of the staff as I'm moving.
Alrighty. Is there anything else you're doing as you continue to kind of like move around?
I'm gonna
He's
let
setting up
PJ. Yeah, I'm setting things up for PJ to do.
Okay. Okay.
At this point,
is this part of your which is I'm asking Amir first. Is this going to be your performance check for the?
I'm gonna do more.
You're gonna do more.
it's-
Okay, so I'll leave it then. So you're kind of just setting the atmosphere, watching it
Yeah.
swirl around, then moves towards PJ's platform, who you can see, eyes down, the lights all moving onto him, spotlighting him. PJ, what are you doing?
at this point, since it's been some time since his last performance, part of his drag outfit has come off, and now it looks a lot more non-binary. It's neither male nor female. And he is rocking his eyeliner right now.
Love it.
He pulls out a helm, kind of resembling Gonk, but it's more of like an armor helm. And he's prepared to sing a song, a very feisty song about heartbreak.
Okay. I will say keep it under like 30 seconds because we want to make sure we're keeping the pace. I hope that's okay. Alrighty. So
Am I allowed to sing?
You are allowed to, yeah. If everyone's okay with you singing. The lights sort of dim and begin to set this mood. And as PJ, you're kind of holding it out almost like the classic like to be or not to be monologue and begin to sing.
I thought that I'd been hurt before, but no one's ever left me quite this sore. Your words cut deeper than a knife. Now I need someone to breathe me back to life. Got a feeling that I'm going under, but I know that I'm making out alive. If I quit calling you my lover and move on, you watch me bleed until I can't breathe, shaking, falling onto my knees. And now that I'm without your kisses, I'll be needing stitches.
Okay, and PJ, with the final note, you lift up the helm into the air and the crowd goes wild. Go ahead and roll your performance check for me.
Aries is clapping. He's cheering you on. He's like standing ovation clapping. He's like, whoa!
I'm clapping too. Ruby is just amazed. I'm like, damn, I lost.
Hey,
Nat 20! Natural 20?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay.
I have a quick question.
Fuck.
Yes.
Lucas, is what you were doing what Mirio was doing?
Gets up and leaves.
I don't think so.
Is
No,
that a character?
Muriel was working on the
Yeah.
He was
Mirio's
doing it in
busy right
spirit.
now.
Mirio was doing it in
Yes,
spirit.
exactly.
And as you kind of hear this, the crowd like rains out. There's a standing ovation. Some crickets are making the like loudest stadium cry that you've ever heard. There's squirrels
From
that are
crickets.
out. Everyone is cheering. It's so exciting. You can hear the booming voice of the eagle say, "It's gonna be real difficult to beat that." Okay.
As everyone knows, flossing is part of the ritual for casting commune.
Yeah, of
Of
course.
course, yeah.
Is that canon? Is that part of lore now?
Okay. As
Yes.
the energy begins to die down and the smoke continues to kind of writhe out, as Kamir, you were setting the stage for PJ,
Yes.
energy begins to focus and swirl around towards you.
While I was
Okay.
singing, PJ's dancing with Kamir and like doing like dramatic like "Zha" with Kamir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going once the fog has kind of like appeared like a circle of fog around me. I am going to cast Call Lightning again, but
Okay.
after while the Cold Lightning is begun, I am going to switch Ingrid into the Eldritch Blade.
Okay.
And as the lightning begins to crackle around the fog, I'm going to slam the blade into the ground and do the tentacle attack and have the tentacles like explode on the edges of the circle as the lightning like erupts and like the fog dissipates.
As you toss up the staff that turns and twists and almost like a baton falls, and as it does, you watch as you grab it and it turns into the great sword that you flash into the air twice, creating this wonderful kind of X formation that causes the fog to kind of disperse and move in strange directions until you finally give this last lunge, and this explosion, almost like a rose bursting out, is this like a tentacle attack. Go ahead and roll a performance check for me.
All right. Performance. That is a 22.
Okay. So, as the kind of like the crowd goes wild for this this flourish, as everyone's so excited, and you can see that kind of the eagle has kind of like closed his eyes and it's like extended his wings to sort of put a hush over the crowd, and then begins to like stomp his foot or talon, and kind of begins to pick up the pace and says, "We have a winner! It was a difficult decision to make, but of our contestants, PJ, you have starstrucken us with your fantabulous voice, darling. Everyone give him a round of applause as he moves on to the final show."
PJ just swigs apple juice really nervous because he isn't sure what to expect next.
But first, the first of your two prizes. And you see that kind of what held within his feathers is what seems to almost be a kind of a piece of like a tapestry that is like brightly colored, almost like a torn piece of it that sort of floats across in the air and falls kind of in the palm of your hand. PJ. Not that document. Let me just check if it's shared with you. I might have
Off, PJ.
And as kind of this is being sent, the pillars that are holding both Ruby and Kamir kind of fall, and you kind of both are ushered out into the audience.
All right.
And PJ, you see this piece of tapestry. It's on the first slide that has just been revealed. You're welcome to share with your fellow party members after. Next, PJ, you suddenly feel like almost this wind begin to whip all around you, and your clothes begin to change and transform. Trinellis, you see that PJ's form, kind of everything that he's wearing now appears to be traditional garments of the Peko. The kind of like tighter skin pulled around, kind of made of leaves and various kind of like barks, and it's like a little bit more tighter fitting, allowing for better range of movement. But you can see kind of like wrapping on the side of the arms. Seems to almost be these, almost like sewn into the fabric, made of vines, are creatures that were carved into the tree. Two kinds on each arm: the cat, the bear, and the ox. The bull. The bull are all on the right arm, and the fox, the owl, and the eagle are all on the left. And you suddenly see that the energy kind of like of this very bombastic and exciting atmosphere dies to become something more almost like that would be more akin to something that Kariki would do, who are kind of the storytellers of the Zekra, of the air of a reenactment being done. Their same respect and kind of atmosphere surrounds this. As you see, the entire stage transforms into almost like a living memory. and you see that kind of PJ transforms into, kind of like sinks into the ground, and the mother tree sits in the center of everything, of this, where this tree is, and it's just, you can see her lush with life, and you all see her as none of you have seen her in life. This stunningly beautiful and ancient tree.
Nice.
And it's all of its glory. And you hear this narration in the back. It seems to be coming from the eagle, just booms all around, but it has this air of seriousness to it. And as kind of the words are said, they happen reenacting them. That the story that you see before you is the one that is being told. The words manifest themselves. Of the first Furbolgs, Peko was the middle child and only daughter. She emerged from the earth and saw her sibling, Hana, fretting about an old and ugly raven. Hana was crying, holding the scrawny little thing, and held it up for Peko to see, crying, "Poor bird, poor bird." The bird was dead. Peko let out a terrified shriek and scurried up the nearest tree to her, the Aratema, her mother tree. The tree gave a gentle laugh and stretched out her branches for all those surrounding trees to see her daughter. Their leaves waved at her and she waved back. As Peko grew, she came to take refuge in the treetops, hopping from branch to branch and swinging from vine to vine. As she grew, she was raised by the beasts of the land and trees. The most influential guides were her spirit guides: the bear, the bull, the cat, the eagle, the fox, and the owl. The bear taught her, and you watch it, there's just silence, and there's like, it almost like falls. Almost that a portion of the story has been ripped out. And then it kind of falls back into it. The bull taught it, once again, falls out, almost like a record player being cut. The cat kind of goes on. The eagle taught Peko how to listen to the whisper of the winds and the language of the trees. The fox cuts out. The owl taught, cuts out again. To thank and honor her guides, she connected their spirits to the ancient trees of the Peko, using a staff from the wood of her mother tree. Her lessons culminated in Zekra's darkest hour of need. Slowly, animosity had begun to grow between Peko's spirit guides. They began to corrupt, their spirits thrashing and wreaking chaos in the spiritual and natural world. The spirits grew so angry they began to lose their sense of being, giving in to madness and rage. As a result, the island and the tribes were thrown into an age of chaos that threatened the land and her people. Plants refused to grow, the tides fell motionless, and the dead stopped dying. So, determined to end the war of the spirits and bring peace back to the lands, Peko ventured to the battlegrounds of the spirits, up a large mountain to a grotto where an ancient flower grew, the flower of the fellowship. This flower, which grew in the earth realm before the great sacrifice, was planted by the woman of the womb and the wild mother in order to ensure that it would guide the children of Aratema in their tribe's greatest hour of need. Peko, upon finding the flower, asked for it to aid her in the war with the spirits. The flower gifted Peko the ability to transform her body and spirit into the forms of her spirit guides. Peko was the first to be gifted with the ability to wild shape. With this newfound ability, Peko was able to mend the divide between the spirits and bring peace to the island. And as those final words ring out, and PJ, you almost feel yourself being like puppeted about, and acting in this starring role as Peko. With that final kind of ring, the illusion kind of falls, almost like cold water rushing down on you. A quick and, suffice rain. And you feel that the clothes that you were wearing previously kind of fall off and go back into your original attire. You've gotten what you came for. For Bog of the Honor. That is all I can give you.
Will you stop fighting the other guides?
It is futile. One diplomat amongst a raging sea of warriors makes little dent.
Maybe we can
Continue your journey,
Thank you.
and I will reconsider.
Will we
You
ever see
kind
you
of-
again?
Possibly. You, Trellis, child of the Hana. Your people commune with the spirit world, are most in tune. Echo are the caretakers of the land. You are the caretaker of the spirits. This should come naturally to you.
I understand. I just sort of nod in respect, and we should head out. There's more that we'll have to talk to.
How exactly do you propose we do that? Trinalis, I don't see an exit here.
Is there an exit?
You kind of look back and you can kind of see the area that you came from, that from the vines begin to grow a door.
Cool.
Men of wings, you commune with strange gods in my midst. What outsiders do you hope?
Lucas.
Yeah, it seems to be communing both with Luke. Seems to be talking both to you, Ash, and you, Muriel.
My roommates, there's also severe storm, so things have been cutting in and out.
You're okay. You bring strange gods to these lands. You are outsiders. We do not take kindly to them. You are here under my disposition and my kindness. I trust the folks. I trust my people. Do not walk out of line.
Completely ignore them.
You see, there is a pride that kind of like swells in the chest of this eagle.
What about me then? Surely you should be able to see the strange beings interacting with me.
Yours are native to these parts. The woman of the wind lives within you. If she has not smited you yet, then I have little hope that I can.
Let's be on our way. Thank you.
Yes.
And Pavak,
Yeah.
wonderful performance, darling. And you see that
Thank
he
you so
almost,
You're pretty awesome yourself.
he kind of turns, and you see all the liveliness kind of begins back, and he almost is taken up by that same jovial air once more, and that tone of seriousness.
Can PJ run up behind him and hug him before he leaves?
As you kind of try to go up and hug, as you kind of move up and hug him, your hand just cross through him. He's not it turns out he's not physical. He is spirit.
Yeah.
Does he notice?
He does not notice. He's just laughing alongside with all of the other animal companions.
Oh.
Let's not overstay our welcome.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
let's get out of here. Very kind of him, but let us go.
it seems like we have a lot of spirit guides to go through. So we gotta
While this was happening, did my commune finish?
Yeah, you just like as you're kind of like just continuing to concentrate it, as you're all walking out, it does.
Okay. So yes, now I get 3. I'm contacting Tropus.
Alright.
Okay.
No
Again.
Here we go again.
bad spiders.
So,
That's the first thing I need to
Muriel, as you're kind of like walking out, just crossing the threshold, you feel a spider, like a leg, begin to crawl out of the side of your mouth. And
Ay,
kind of
ay, 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 ay.
side and sort of just like sit on the top of your hair and almost like crawl down the back of your neck into your armor. That then kind of vanishes and kind of swirls out into smoke and just kind of gets under your skin. But you do get your questions answered.
I just kind of say these out loud. I share what I learned from Talitha.
The decision is yours.
It's a yes or a no. It's not a. It's a yes or a no. We're unclear. If I'm being fair.
It's kind of like unclear. Atropos is kind of the goddess of this bullshit, so she's sort of able to manipulate around with it a little bit.
I don't want to ask why she's such a bitch, but I don't think that's a good thing to ask a goddess.
Yeah, don't waste your question on that. Don't waste your question on that of all things.
Is Belazul's soul still residing on these isles?
No.
We've been over that already. It's in
Is there any way to revive the flower?
No.
I don't think we need the flower.
As kind of you
Walking.
kind of finish. The doors shut behind you, and you are back within the maze.
So, where to next? Which one do you want to do next?
Let's just do the
Janelle?
next one. We're just gonna do this in order.
But which one is the next? Is the next one? That was my
I don't know what
question.
it's called. Just the next one physically on the map.
Okay.
So the one that Janelle is
PJ,
The one to the right.
PJ's gonna show the group the tapestry that he received.
Okay. So PJ, he kind of speaked up a little bit. Hey, Lucas, do you have any headphones you could maybe wear? Okay. And PJ, you kind of like rummage through and said that everyone's like talking, hey, what's our next plan? What are we gonna do next? And you kind of show this kind of about yay big piece of tapestry that seems to have been ripped off from another portion. If everyone, if you want to share that document, PJ, you're welcome to.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Better?
Yes, that's much better. Thank you.
Okay. I was hooked up to a monitor, so when it does that, it doesn't get feedback. For some reason, it wasn't hooked up.
You're good.
I'm a physics major, not a computer major.
Okay. I'll actually copy the link and I can put it in the Discord chat.
All right.
Okay. I put it in I should put it in the campaign. Here we are. Alrighty. Does everyone see it?
I'm pulling it up.
I think I added everybody. I think.
Okay, I put on a copy, a share link. So this is the tapestry that kind of PJ holds up. This is the portion.
Aaron, I'm gonna add another slide on the maps document so I can show it to the student.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's very bright. Give me 1 sec.
Commander's like, huh. So he just gave this to you?
Well, as a prize.
Well, yeah,
It collects more pieces.
Do you think the other spirits have the other pieces?
I guess so.
Indubitably.
I would imagine, yeah.
What's next?
So who do
I'm
we
sorry,
have to make
I'm
friends
unfamiliar.
with next?
We go.
Are we?
Everyone to physically the next one. Right hand bottom of the map.
Okay. You move towards the stone door that has the words in the Druidic runes written. Welcome to tea. Or join me for tea, excuse me.
Sus.
And then we go.
So,
All right. Yep. And we go.
okay, as you try to push onto the door,
I'm just gonna knock on the door.
you knock on the door? Okay.
Yeah. That's what I did earlier.
Okay, and the door sort of open. And within, the kind of smell of burning tea leaves and the aroma of kind of sweet incense kind of just fills the chamber. It's a very comforting smell. And as you kind of step in, it is filled with kind of this soft, dull glow. There seems to be kind of in the perimeter of this kind of smaller stone room. There are kind of like all sorts of different lilac bushes and different like plants also that are akin to making tea with. There's some mint leaves, kind of a couple like pieces of low-hanging fruit, and this dull like orange glow fills this chamber. And you can see in the center are what seems to be kind of like furs and almost like throw pillows that kind of litter on the floor. And as you kind of step in, you can kind of see the back of a large anthropomorphic barn owl, who seems to just kind of be bustling about very like slowly and calmly. It's like grounding up what seems like matcha tea or it's like some kind of other tea leaves, and it's just like slowly making tea.
I'm gonna speak up and say, "Do you want some help with that?"
That would be greatly appreciated.
I'm gonna get out my own tea stuff and.
Have you guys? Yeah. So as you kind of like begin to kind of help with this endeavor. Okay. Does anyone here have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
I think all of us have.
Are you talking about Iroh? Are you gonna do Iroh?
Do you know the owl from
Wan Shi Tong?
Oh!
That's what this owl looks like.
Cool.
Yeah.
Same voice too, or?
That's kind of terrifying.
Is this from Korra? Because I haven't seen Korra.
No, it's from the first. It's from the first one.
Remember the
The
owl?
library in the desert.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's
That guy.
terrifying.
That guy. I
Yeah.
remember now.
You see that she is wearing what seems to be like robes, kind of more similar to robes that Trinellis would wear. Longer,
Big owl.
not form-fitting, kind of draped with different like darker toned earthy colors, like deep like evergreens and browns and stuff like that. And you see that kind of like as Trinellis and her kind of have this unspoken kind of moving back and forth making tea, you all settle yourselves around these like very comfortable furs. And she sort of places out and giving cups to each of you.
I'm gonna speak up again. You know why we're here.
I do. I know many things.
Can I sit right across from her?
I knew you'd do that. I'm going to be very simple with you. I find that those things tend to make these endeavors easier. You are welcome to ask me any questions, and I am most likely to know the answer to them. But, in return, I am welcome to ask you any questions. I would also recommend answering truthfully. Of course.
Okay.
That shouldn't be a problem. None of us have really anything
I
to
love-
hide, right?
Aaron,
I look.
Aaron,
Sorry, go ahead. Look.
I was actually gonna march up right as you were talking to me, so like while you were talking,
Alright.
I'm gonna march up and say something to her.
I'm like that should be too bad. None of us have anything to hide, right? I like glare right at Ash.
PJ just kind of snorts to himself.
I just walk up to her and say, "Is there a suitable replacement for the flower?"
No. That flower was of pre-realm existence and was specially planted here by an old friend of mine.
Ignore Mason, he's mooing. I just kind of look very pissed. I kind of quickly glance over to the rest of the party. Just kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Muriel, are you afraid?
Who isn't? Would you like to be a little more specific?
No.
Is it... Wouldn't it be scarier if I wasn't afraid? What sane person enters a foreign land consumed by corruption and knows no fear?
Wise answer.
Wise answer indeed. Wise answer indeed.
Out of curiosity, what's your favorite color?
At the moment, lilac. Yours?
I just kind of use thaumaturgy to create like lilac and rose colored. I think I can create lights, like little flashes.
I cast dancing lights.
I have a couple of questions. Most pressing is, do we need the flower to save this island?
You would know, wouldn't you?
And you would tell us.
Why are we being so
Wasn't talking
hostile?
to
We
her.
intruded into her land and...
I'm not
not talking.
I'm
to
not
her.
being
Kind of
hostile.
ironic coming from you, Aries.
I'm trying to be
Trellis has a
comforting.
very specific reason for asking, because Trellis knows exactly what happened to that flower.
As does your friend.
So does Mirio.
Yeah.
Just kind of look directly at Trinell, staring
need
daggers
that
at
flower.
you. Yes,
Did you say
you do. I
daggers?
can answer that. I can answer that for you.
This appears to be a question that it would be more fit to be answered by your companion rather than I.
Do we need it?
Would you know? You're the one that destroyed the last chance, Sekra. Sekra's final straw, their saving grace. The thing that was meant to save them should darkness come. Again.
Ruby is.
I plucked that dagger to try and save my wife. I don't regret the decision I made. I made, and frankly, we didn't know what it would do, what it was.
But
You-
Trinellis.
You
Speak.
stopped the cycle. You were
Trinellis.
the one who interrupted it.
All of
Muriel?
you stop.
Trinellis.
I'm going to warn you right now, do not use that tone with me.
All of you
Trinellis?
stop. This is not the time nor the place to be arguing about something as petty as this.
I would argue that this is exactly the place.
Yes, I'm sorry to say, Aries. I've been meaning to discuss
May I,
this with
may I share
Trinellis
with
for a
you all what I've discovered in my travels?
There is also, like, as you hear Trinellis and Mirio kind of arguing about this, none of you know what the fuck this flower thing is. Until, like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna like just take my tea, down it in one swig, and then kind
it
of.
is hot as it goes down. It, like, oh, that was a little warmer there. I was just
Aaron, does
Okay,
this sound familiar to
Now we're
Kamir?
speaking about what is it?
Does
I
this
will-
sound first?
I will
First,
explain.
does this
sorry,
sound?
history check.
Okay, let me. While you explain, I'm going to roll.
Ruby and I went out one night. We saw a bright light fall to earth on some mountains. We
26.
decided to adventure. And there, met one of a spirit of a coatl in Talitha. She was friend Beelzebul, Lucas, Nathan, and Greyfire. She told me the story, the fellowship of the flower. And the flower Beelzebul left to safeguard Sekra. Did the darkness ever come back? It was the flower of the fellowship. Beelzebul sacrificed so much. Put this flower here to protect these lands. Protect hundreds of people. And when the darkness came, the flower wasn't there anymore to protect it. Just look at Trinellis.
First off, Miriam,
You heard my role, right,
Yeah,
Aaron?
yeah.
Not
So
only
as they're kind of talking about this, you're trying to rack your brains too. Where have I heard this before? Where have I heard this before? And it hits you. The Moon's Fellowship was a later kind of addition to the Fellowship of the Flower, after kind of adorning the name of like the Moon, which represented Cassandra Beth after she died.
Yeah.
But the Fellowship of the Flower was the original name of the Moon's Fellowship, and was what brought them all together in the first place, and held extremely powerful healing magic.
Now, Trinellis.
Now let me explain why I did what I did.
Please do. Please explain how you could allow this to happen.
My wife was dying. Telling that even Fablin, my mother-in-law, couldn't cure. So she told me of a flower that could save her, encouraged me to go and retrieve it. I found this flower and I fought this Kuatl in order to attempt to save my wife, in order to save Leah. I had a duty as both as a husband and a father to do everything I could. So I did everything I could. I couldn't let my son lose a parent. I couldn't let Leah lose her life. Or at least I couldn't let that happen without doing everything that I could to try and prevent it.
Do not mistake
What's my read on Trinellis? Is he being truthful?
It seems that everything in... Yeah, actually, roll an insight check.
Roll with
insight check.
advantage.
I have a passive insight of like
That's not
20...
how insight works. You can't really help somebody with insight, because it's sort of like you're like reading somebody.
Okay.
Does a 27 get me?
He is being truthful, yes. And as you as you notice a 27, you do see that you kind of see like flicks of gold in the tea. It seems that there is almost like an innate sensibility that, even though if you don't know you guys are lying, she will.
Trinellis. This is news to me.
I've told you this story before.
You told me that you used...
No. Wait, Aaron. I'm pretty sure I told them I used a flower to try and save my wife, but she died.
No, you've never, from my knowledge, you've never mentioned flower.
This.
You've always said you used the dagger to do it.
That was
I would say my son. I used the flower to try and save my wife.
Well, we didn't know
But
that.
You didn't know
we
about
didn't.
the
Yeah, we had. This is entirely new information.
No, I brought up the flower.
This is the first I've ever heard of the flower.
This is I feel like you at the very least would have written this down.
Here's why I brought up the flower. Here's why I brought up the flower. I saw the flower on Ingrid's chest, and I brought up that I used that flower to try and save my wife, but the effort was futile. I brought that up.
You mentioned that you had seen the flower before, and
you've never that's
you did not tell them you did not tell them the story of
my memory is pretty my memory is pretty good about this. I distinctly remember you said that you were going to ask me about it later. You never got around to asking me.
Right. Okay, but
so maybe you intended maybe you
on my end.
Actually,
okay.
Your question. Is it dead? Or what was it?
Simply gone.
Is this to me or to?
It
In
is.
general, to whoever will actually answer me.
It is not dead, but rather consumed. One spirit remains unmaddened. One mortal spirit.
Then is there a way to bring it back?
No, but maybe we could use the spirit that contains its power as a substitute.
We could use
that spirit being, and look to Trinellis.
That's yes. Yes, that spirit being.
Wife. You sacrificed the flower. You sacrificed this island for your wife. Isn't it your duty?
No,
Sacrifice
and your
everything
son.
for the cycle.
At this first, Mirio again, tone. Second, that's something I'm going to have. Something I'm going to have to prepare myself for.
Do not mistake my apathy for carelessness. I understand pain in different ways. I understand the pain of losing a loved one or seeing them almost die. You are helpless. I care deeply for it, and I have sympathy. However, look what your repercussions have caused.
And do you think I would have imagined this? Do you think I would have imagined losing a son not a year after I lost my wife?
No, everything happens in the cycle, you have taught us. The darkness came once, it will come again. It will cleanse this land, it will come again.
He tried everything he could to
Miriam,
save the
do not
people that
teach
he
me my
has
own
left.
religion. Do not teach me. Final warning.
Trinelis, I will be the first to say that I have never truly known the love of another woman.
Another person.
Another.
In my case,
I love
at least. I'm sorry.
I loved my mother, but I've never truly loved someone in the way that you have. I regret to say. However, I would feel that even despite this love, you would be above being fooled by someone as, let's say someone is, how do I put this? Someone is...
Sage?
No. I'm quite frankly surprised that you'd be fooled by someone so direct, Father.
You would be surprised.
Especially a person like you who values the cycle as much as you say you do. I'm not mad about you wasting the flower. I know not of the true
power and meaning.
Importance. Of course, yes.
I wasted the flower.
Trinelis, do you think an explanation could help this endeavor? Yes or no?
Explanation isn't justification.
And ask for
I'd say
justification.
no. In the endeavor of explaining of my friends forgiving me for my actions, or you forgiving me for my actions, absolutely not. But an explanation defines a result very well could be.
Else. I was upset that you did it, but I already forgave you.
Why didn't you say that?
Because you need to know what we feel and how understand, or at least understand desperation that you felt, a fear of failing those who you love.
And don't
I
misunderstand.
know one
Sorry,
very
yeah.
well. You're good. Understand that all too well. Of course, we're
And
gonna
don't
forgive you.
Don't misunderstand me, Trinelis. I'm not mad at you for doing what you did. I'm simply baffled by a person who so far has proven yourself to be even wiser than me. I'm older than you by a few years, and yet you made such a rash mistake. I had no idea that
Loss
it
changes
would be
us.
this bad.
Loss changes us a lot.
Arguing amongst yourselves will get us nowhere. The past is inconsequential. What matters is what you will do to fix it.
I'm in agreement with you, Ash. I'm in agreement with you, Ash, and I do wish to
Strength is
discuss
what
this
you
at some
have
point.
to move forward.
And what do you have to move forward from Ash? We know very little about you. I'm not trying to be hostile, but Once again, I will reiterate, we are on an island being consumed by darkness. And you are the only other person we have found is not a spirit. I feel like an explanation is due. And anyone who is keeping any further secrets, I look to everyone and say, please, we are to help you. You need to help us understand how to.
After a while of staring at his tea, Ares looks up at the owl woman. What happened to Michelle?
Michelle is alive. And actually very well at the moment.
What aspect?
Her endeavors have taken her towards a new path. For you and for your sake.
Ma'am,
Yes.
what happened in the maze? The labyrinth? After she died?
It grows chaotic day by day. Continuing to be manipulated by forces that were kept at bay by her control. You are aware that this labyrinth leading to many twisting and dark terrain. Terrain more powerful than many, many mortals. And monsters that lie within it. Now in turn,
Teacher need not to worry. He is us to light the way.
Ares,
Yes.
or Watatsumi,
Excuse me?
why do you search for your mother so fervently?
Hear
wish-
Ruby's like just gasp. I'm like, oh,
You're just kind of like,
wait.
Didn't though we already know Ares' real name, right?
Yeah, we do.
No, I guess though. I guess
no,
with how
I
blunt
didn't.
she-
Because he signed the contract by Humid with that
I
name,
wasn't
right?
watching. I wasn't there when
Oh.
you guys did that. This is the first I've
Okay.
heard it.
I mean, whatever, it's fine. It's not something we should argue over, is what I'm saying.
I wish to reclaim some sense of myself and to know my origins better.
And you think that you will find it in her?
I think I will find more of my power in her and help to understand it better. Where is my
PJ?
mother?
Yes.
You currently look for a surrogate. Do you not?
Well, not really. More another family, I would say.
And your feelings have grown for a particular couple in the city of Metal. The Egonian Empire, I believe it's called. Is that
Well, yeah.
true?
Why do you ask?
Ares,
Yes.
you asked for the whereabouts of your mother.
Yes.
Currently, she wanders the scapes of the Shadowfell. In coordinates with his father. And you watch as her gaze turns towards Kamir.
Those who wander are not lost.
My
And-
mother is working with Kamir's father.
And PJ, I ask for the gain of knowledge. Knowledge for knowledge's sake. Ares, you ask if she is working with the Unyielding Death, as he is now called.
Yes.
He was not
Call him
called
Balthazar. Call him Balthazar. I do not
That
wish to respect that title here.
That is the name that I recognize. Foolish boys.
True that
He does.
Indeed.
She does work with him.
Kind of walk up. And sorry, you can go, Ruby.
problem. Oh, thank you. Is it true that Jay's mother was enlightened by the golden dragon?
Excuse me?
Wait, what?
Who's
What?
Is it
PJ's
true
mother.
Oh,
PJ's mother is part of the line of sorcerers who have chosen to have been called and summoned by the golden dragon?
No.
No.
Anastasia was not an inheritor of the Bloodlust curse. But she did know how to deal with it.
Is that why? Is that for a reason why PJ finds comfort in apple juice now, to say the least?
Indeed. And for my two questions.
Yes.
Where does your sister lie in your heart?
Above everything else. I'd do anything to have one last hug or a laugh or a cry or something. I just don't feel so alone. Honest.
Yet you have not ventured in the Feywilds for her.
Is she in the Feywild? Presumably?
The magics of the Feywild are interchanging, fluid. My knowledge of them is sparse. There is no concrete in the Feywild, as there is here.
I kind of walk up to her and like not like an aggressive way, but I kind of get close to her ear and I try whispering. Two questions into her ear. First one.
Roll a sleight of hand first and foremost.
Oh, you know I'm
what-
gonna try and hear this.
No. Okay, the first one. I don't care. This is the only person I'm trying to hide from. EJ, just because I don't want to scare him. I don't.
I'm 100% listening in.
Guidance on both of these.
PJ, if you're okay. PJ, are you listening in or are you using the access?
I've been trying to listen to this entire conversation.
Okay, let's roll a perception check for me.
You got an 18.
An 18. PJ, what'd you roll on your perception check?
20.
20. Okay. So you do hear this conversation, but Miro, you do not know that PJ can hear you. You think that you
I just
are.
gonna whisper into the ear like, if you could be quiet about this answer. I don't want to scare the kid. Is his disease even curable?
Controllable? Yes. It can be a vessel of great power. But with great power comes danger.
I didn't ask if it could be controlled. I asked if it be cured.
Is that not the difference of what you mortals call it?
Can it be banished from his blood? And not only that he does not suffer from the consequences, but he cannot pass it on. But it ends there and with him. That is what I mean.
It cannot. It cannot. It is the nature of the crystal.
Crystal.
crystal?
Which one?
Damn, I wish I were listening.
You have. What's your passive perception? What's everyone's passive perception here? I'll ask, just so I can.
24.
Easier. 26?
15.
Yeah, can hear you
23.
down here.
Yeah, I didn't think I would.
Yeah. I'll
Which
hear it.
crystal?
I don't.
I just kind of say it out loud. Like,
I
Which
lied.
crystal?
I'm kind of taking it back. I say this out loud because I'm trying to take it back. Like, not out loud, but like, wait. Crystal? What crystal?
Look dead at PJ.
Within the Ravenwood bloodline lies the fluid form of the blood crystal, sometimes called the Crimson Stone, the Philosopher's Stone. Many ancient peoples have sought out its power. It is a curse on the line itself. Not only that it invokes great power, but draws those of great power to it. For only when every Ravenwood has been eradicated can the stone come together.
Ow.
Can the crystal reunite?
Oh, now I know
Ow.
why human wanted the Ravenwoods dead.
Ow.
And then I just kind of shake my head, and then I whisper the next question, the one
Miss
I
Owl.
have to her.
Yes, Chiron?
Does this stone have anything to do with the red dragon in the con?
They are one and the same. Well, were at one point. The gold dragon and the red dragon are different aspects of each other.
I have 2 questions pertaining to Zekra. First is,
Indeed.
can we use Leah's soul or spirit in place of the flower?
That is a complicated answer that lead to many more questions. Can her soul be used like an ingredient in tea? To just throw out and heal the island of its woes? No. But can her spirit heal the spirit that it touches with aid? Indeed. I believe that will only come when the seeds are replanted into the earth, and the new generation will rise.
My next question is, what did you teach Peko? Honesty?
First, I have a few questions.
Fair enough. I'll answer
I have
as
to be
fast as I
exact.
can.
Do you wish to know about your son?
Yes. However, I don't know that I'm ready to know that, or I don't think I'm ready to overcome that. I don't know if I can. If he is stable, I don't know if I have the power to do that yet.
My next question. Could you be a father to more than one?
Always.
The day will come when you, Chalaris of the Hana, will need to reinvigorate the traditions of these lands into a new generation.
Owl.
No, I would like to make you a correction there. I'm not Channels of the Harna. Channels of the Zekra. Tribes. What does it matter anymore?
Correct.
It's all one people.
That is
Anything
the
else?
correct answer. What it's in? You had another question? for me?
Sorry, I just want to say one more thing. And I'm more than ready to be a father if I'll be the shepherd of Melora's herds.
The time draws nearer.
I've been wanting to say that for so long. I have an excuse to say that so long.
What it's in?
Did Hewitt send for the assassination of PJ's mother?
No.
Who did?
Interestingly enough, Chandri's efforts to disconnect herself to keep her half-sister safe were successful. No one knows that Anastasia was related to the Ravenwood bloodline. None but one. Well, not of that bloodline.
Aries, I think
Who?
we can assume you would want the blood crystal.
Who knew?
Muriel, did you have another question for me?
Ah!
I do. And I would like to politely request that everyone do not listen. This is personal. I
Muriel,
place my
Very well.
trust in
if
you.
I'm being honest, we're all being open and personal here.
Yes,
It has
I
nothing to
feel
do
that.
with myself.
Unfortunately,
people to know.
Muriel, I cannot answer questions of secrecy.
Then, where are the
I feel
other
it.
fragments of crystal that I see?
Which one?
The
I
ice.
assumed.
I like just look at both of them like,
One lied
Yeah,
in the
I just
eye
kind of-
which have kept it. One, the distant sea of one of the twin planets. And the bag,
Oh shit!
in the bag of the chained trickster god, the traveler.
oh, fuck.
And the final lies in the eye of Tiamat.
Well, I
Will
have
that? Will you?
I have two more questions for you.
Yes.
What is going on with me, with Ingrid, with how am I still alive?
You will not be for long.
Excuse me?
What?
I just kind of get up and I just draw my sword. Excuse me?
How? But how?
Kamir just keels over dead.
Do not mistake my bluntness as intimidation. I'm sure you have noticed, Chiron, that the nature of your pact has changed,
Yes.
and you have changed as well.
But I lack the insight on how and what and why.
Ingrid
I think I can answer some of those.
has connection to your soul. And you watch as she sort of flies down on kind of the shoulder and the wing of this owl. In the same way, she is a reflection of you. She is not her own being. She's like a reflection in a mirror or a pool of water. Not fully mortal, not fully God, not fully spirit, less than that. But still, of great power. This remains the same of the heroes of the Fellowship of the Moon. They could not live past death, as I'm sure you are well aware, the lesson your father had to be taught.
Yes.
The reflection of their souls remain in that crystal. And you watch as she kind of points to the moon crystal. They remain here for a purpose. To destroy the one who sought to bring another darkness to these lands. to these realms. Your father represented the reincarnation of Udis. Not the same being, but with the same purpose. He sought power beyond his reach. And in doing so, almost destroyed the lands that the sacrifice set into motion. So, the heroes decided that they would leave a reflection of their soul behind, instilled with one purpose: to destroy this threat of the realms once and for all. But
Well.
they need a host, and that host is you.
Oh,
Well,
And when their duty is fulfilled, your contract ends. And your life as well.
well, it seems like you answered my second question already.
I have two
I had a
questions
feeling
as
though.
well.
I had a feeling that would be your answer.
I have a couple questions. Yes, sorry. Does my mother get her magic from Kamir's father?
No, her magic lies within her own blood. 11 questions. And you see she is almost like tallying up how many she gets to ask you all in return.
I'm tallying. Oh, yeah.
And where is my father?
Okay.
In power. A very powerful man.
Who is my father?
I only know his first name.
What is it? Please.
Who is my dad?
Lexitron.
Lexitron. Is that
Thank you.
ringing a bell to anybody?
Just ring the bell.
Does it? Does it?
Oh, Lexitron. Yes, that takes me back to my old college days. Yeah, he was my
No,
roommate. Why didn't you just ask?
No, Kamir, normally a well of historical information, like straight up shrugs. Like, I don't know.
If he's of legendary
I think-
importance and power, I can identify him.
what? Okay, I feel like we've heard this name, that name though. Maybe.
Where does he hold power?
All over the world.
Is he a deity?
No.
Okay.
He may not be a deity, but he may be some extraplanar being.
Does he also work with Kamir's father?
No.
Is
Here's
he
an
benevolent?
interesting DM question. How outdated is my knowledge pool?
You are realizing as you're kind of like hearing about all of this that this is like this information, everything is almost like coming clear again. Like your history and your past is almost like bloodied. It is muddled and is foggy and almost seems to have been like claimed like a piece of territory to whatever deity that you prayed to. That the Bloodbearer has almost taken claim of your past and your memories for her own. Her own selfish conquest.
I do believe we're at a very extraordinary large amount of questions that you can ask us, so
Yes.
One more. Your
Okay.
question to me really made me think about this. Is there a way to save my son?
Yes.
it's always a way.
How do I?
There is an unfathomable amount of possibility. The path is yours to decide.
That's all I need. Thank you.
Does Michelle
so
still
safe.
think about me?
God, fuck Michelle. Fuck Michelle.
Fuck Michelle.
Michelle.
She is not good for you.
She watches Ares just like,
Ares,
swooning.
Ares.
I'm going to kill her.
I'm
on
sorry.
sight.
What did the owl
She
say?
is toxic as, like, No, speaking of soda's only been with one person. I'm not too I'm not too well versed in this, but that doesn't sound like a healthy relationship. I think you need to talk to someone about that.
I second Trinolis on this, and this is coming from a sex demon that
Answer
has
the
seen
question.
unhealthy
Here is a
relationships
camel
before.
climb.
Answer the question.
You said yes.
And right now, actually, I think.
What is she thinking about?
She's making a deal with someone.
Of course she is.
Why wouldn't she? Actually,
I ask, what is the deal about?
I do not know. My knowledge does not stretch. Past
I actually
this
do
far.
have one question.
Hmm?
How do you know all of this? What magic? What allows you to see beneath the veil?
If I told you, your mind would compress and explode and then wither away.
That
Yeah,
sounds kind of fun.
you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't ask those kind of questions, Muriel.
I asked this question of Evil, but will you cease fighting the other spirits?
I have. But, once again, wisdom is not besought anymore. Not besought in chaos or fighting. You have had a bit of an easier time with my task, as you have with Evil's, but Fox likes to play.
I believe it's
As
your
the-
turn. Oh, sorry.
Does
And
anyone else have...
Trellis, I did not answer your question of what is the story of my story with Pekka. I will make you aware that when I answer this question, you will have to leave.
Why don't we save
Well,
that
but I
for
will-
last?
Yes.
I asked one question before.
Indeed. What do you seek?
What is it, like 30 now?
No, I think it's 16.
Yeah, we're about
Well-
16.
Will my family
16 is lowballing it.
I have it written down,
ever
don't worry.
find peace? Meaning, my father, my godmother, my sister, my mother, who else that I know died, are they going to find peace? They found peace.
Which one? Which ones?
Before I mentioned.
I think I can help you. And find out that. I don't. The God's power, we can glimpse that.
That I'd mentioned previously. My father, my mother, my godmother, my sister.
Your father, your mother, your godmother, and your sister. Your father and your mother, yes. They have moved on into the realm of unknowing. A sea of ghosts and spirits. Your godmother was not did not do the best deeds in her life, and currently lies as a lemur in the Nine Hells.
How
Oof.
is she in the Nine Hells and Tobias isn't? Sorry, Topaz isn't.
Topaz
He's a loud
was
person.
Topaz was manipulated. His spirit was corrupted by Nimraya, I think her name was.
Right.
Her new one.
I'm glad it's finally a was.
And your sister. There is no peace for her.
And I help her eventually find peace.
Yes.
And
It's only madness for now.
Was my father cursed by same thing that had cursed Nimraya? Or better said, that ring make him go mad is the
Indeed.
reason why he treated my sister the way he did.
It is.
Thank you.
I have a few questions.
Do you now?
So, you know that the unyielding death wants to be a god. Tried to take out Wrath to do so. There are 5 gods in the pantheon. There only can be 5. Who's his next target once he gains the power that he needs?
That is not necessarily true, that there can only be 5.
My teachings lie.
Often that is how teachings are. Books change. Things need revising. Wisdom exists beyond intelligence. It's eternal.
My next question. Everyone has a weakness. What's Balthazar's?
His pride.
It was his hubris that got him in the position he's in the first place, after all.
Indeed.
Which means it will be his hubris that will be his downfall.
The cycle tends to repeat.
As it does. Now, before we ask that final question, I do believe you have many more for us.
I do.
Can I add one question onto the pile? This is my last.
Honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter. Add them on. Pile them
Just
on.
pile it on, yeah.
Who was
Lay
the
it
last,
on thick.
other than Chandri and possibly Ranius, who was the last person to know that Anastasia and I were Ravenwoods?
Her assistant.
Which one?
A man named Ander Jude.
Does he go by a new name now?
No, I believe he keeps the same.
Who does he work for?
Himself.
Probably seeks to gain something from deal with someone of more power. How many questions do you have for us?
I'm
Just out
sorry.
of curiosity.
I have one more about my father, if you don't mind. Does he know who I am? And if he does, has he thought about me? Does he care for me at all?
Ah. He thought you were dead, and only very recently learned of your survival. But he has known you since you were very small, and has put people in your own nest to care for you. And he hasn't enough.
Did Sally know my father, I'm sorry.
Very well.
And Sally's husband?
No.
I just sort of point towards Mirio. Does that count as a question?
Oh God!
Count as a question?
Honestly, stop asking questions.
I will not rack your brains too feverishly. I only beseech you.
Oh, why not?
I will beseech
My God,
you
PJ.
from each of you.
Yeah, we'll throw you into
One-
the tea kettle.
Around one question each. Whether another will follow, as my own curiosity's knowledge.
Better
Only
make
my
it good.
curiosity's knowledge. Indeed.
I have but one before we conclude this.
What might
I've been
Said-
restraining
said-
myself so hard.
Said
Every member
everybody.
of this party has said that now. Just one more. It's fine. Just one more. Don't worry about
You
it.
just
One
add it
more.
on there. It's like heroin. It's just
It's like heroin.
Gotta know.
One more hit.
Information is a good one.
How many layers can she possibly peel away from us?
Ew.
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
That is
Yeah.
very smart non-shoving.
I learned it the hard way.
I'm aware.
All right. What's your question, Ash?
Why did Didor abandon me?
I know who Dido is. Or no? Is that like a god of some sort?
Roll a religion check.
Zach
Yeah, I do the
knows who
same.
Didor is because Zach invented Didor.
May I do the same, Aaron?
18.
Yeah, roll a religion check.
Need guidance on myself?
The gods are only as those that follow them.
Ah!
24.
That's the thesis.
With that
I
roll,
believe that Mirio knows very well this fact.
Hey, we just gotta follow.
don't call me out like that. Don't you ever call me out like that.
Thank you, Battle Rooster 123 for the follow.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're glad to have you here.
Who is Battle Rooster?
No idea, but we're happy to have him
Is
here.
that an actual person finally, and not one of us?
Wait.
No way.
Let's not
Are you
chase them
sure
away.
you
Let's
wanna be?
continue with our
Are
game.
you sure you want to be here? I'm sure there's other things
Sure you
happening
want to
right
be
now.
here?
Alright.
Like you could be studying.
Apparently Aaron knows them.
Oh, wait, who is it?
I don't know. They just said Aaron knows me, lol, in chat.
I do have one.
Guys, don't bother
Anyway,
them.
back to it.
Sorry.
Aaron,
You
did we,
text me.
Alright.
did we learn anything about Didor from that role?
So Didor is not particularly a very like widely worshipped god within these four continents because there hasn't really been any major wars since the kind of skirmishes between Sylvia and the Egonian Empire, but those were all kind of done by two very kind of like godless like continents. It was basically magic versus technology. Didar is the goddess of just war and is widely worshipped by House Glaive primarily, but has a wider worship on the continent of Iroth, which is very, very far from kind of any kind of land masses that you kind of been to. These kind of the four continental lands are kind of the major and like much larger. Iroth is very small in comparison to how large that these continents are. It's a country compared to a continent.
It's like Australia.
Yeah.
Just
But
small.
small.
But
so
smaller.
it's more like Hawaii.
Yeah, maybe a little bit bigger than Hawaii,
It's
but
like New Zealand.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Mirio brought this concept.
I'm ass at geography, so I don't know any of this
this
what we're
is our last
talking about.
question, except for the one that you haven't answered yet. But does Ares need therapy?
Yes,
Yes.
Sorry.
Everyone needs therapy.
all of us do.
Or did you say yes?
Yes.
I have proficiency
She
in
did.
therapy. Don't worry.
Oh, look at Ares.
All right. What
We're
questions
finding
do you
someone.
have? What questions do you have for us at long last?
Unless anyone has any other questions.
I don't have a question. I have a statement.
Final call.
I have a statement. Not a question. What we say in this circle, stay in this circle.
Yes, agree.
That's not. I'm not asking you guys to. I am telling you. I look poignantly at Ash because I don't know Ash, and Ray does not trust him.
I.
Yes.
Do you know that those you seek will come
Agreed.
to you, but that you will chase them away in the sun.
I didn't know that, no.
Do you know why a jaguar waits in the brush before it's killed instead of chasing it straightforward?
Because of the pitch. To surprise it.
Patience is a virtue. Remain by your friends, and the ones you seek will come to you much faster than if you chase them down yourself.
Thank you.
Companionship is necessary in your path forward. You cannot continue to strike out on your own. Only failures will follow you there. Ashielra, you do not like the goddess you have found pathless, do you? You would not be friends with her if she were mortal.
I doubt it.
Then what respect do you pay to her? If in godhood that you would not in mortals?
She was the one who answered my prayers, who gave me the strength to do what Didor could not give me.
A rebellion. I see. But you should know that moving from one tyrant to another does not benefit the kingdom. PJ,
Yes.
you still hear voices, do you not?
Every now and then, but they've been quieter on Zekra. I've been worried that they might come back suddenly and I won't be able to do anything about it.
Do you seek to control these powers within you, or suppress them?
I think more of me wants or is curious to see what they'll do. And part of me wants to give in for curiosity's sake. And I think I don't mind as much the consequences than other people, but I do mind the consequences on these guys. So I think Chandri and Iranius would be disappointed if I took that out on other people.
Do you know the love that couple has for you? It's rather immense. I was surprised when you stepped into these bounds.
Well, I mean, they don't have children, so maybe they just kind of project that onto me because they see me as kin, and because my mom kind of died, maybe, probably. So, I mean, I never found her soul, but I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe they feel kind of guilty for that.
How do you feel for them?
Miranius and Chandri? Well, it was fun running naked through the city with them.
You did what?
You did what? Kamir and Chanel simultaneously say.
I will say, if it gives any clarification, they were animals. Pecco found something very fascinating about that endeavor.
Yeah, I can no longer criticize anymore.
But I think they're not quite the second chance, but they're a shot at a family that I would love to explore because they are family at the end of the day, and they're the last family that I'm aware of. So, and just because I tell you this, isn't a go ahead to go and kill them, okay? Please don't. That wouldn't be very cash money, okay? No.
I still don't understand how
What
this
is
relates
this?
to global
What is
economics, but
this?
okay.
What is this cash money?
It's what the cool kids use instead of swears.
It's a
Ruby is
rabbit hole
beaming.
that I'm still struggling with. You don't want to go down it.
It is vocabulary that Ruby has taught this fine young man.
I'm so proud. Can I just run up and give PJ a hug, like embrace?
I'm so... Ah!
Chiron,
Yes.
do you run from death as your father did? Or embrace it as an old friend?
Harry Potter, what?
Quite frankly, I feel like I'm too willing to accept its embrace sometimes. I've lived a very long life, and it is my obligation to these wonderful men and women that keep me fighting. The news that you have given me today was not frightening, but comforting.
Knowledge often is. Muriel. Do you fear the state your husband lies in?
No. He's safe
Why?
under Arat's protection.
That was not my question. I should clarify. Do you miss the way he used to be? He is no longer powerful. No longer the warrior he was.
I don't think I can remember the way he used to be. This is all I know.
And does that frighten you?
No. It is not his appearance, nor his abilities, or capabilities, that are the reason I love him. Arat's love knows no superficial traits. It burns deeper than that. So no. I have faith in our love, and I have faith in Arat. I shall show no fear, and I shall feel not its embrace.
I would ask that Ruby and Jason had a long conversation upon your reuniting. As you are a cleric of Aroth, as is Jason Paladin.
What is your point?
I'm asking the questions now.
May you clarify it a little more clearly.
She is the captain now.
May you rephrase it so I may understand it better? What you are asking?
Jason knows of your change of heart for a brief time, and his insecurities as to whether he is a fit warrior or not are conflating and are at conflict within his spirit. He knows jealousy is not a virtue of Aroth, and is trying to work through it. Perhaps a conversation could alleviate that worry.
I find
Like
it
a
cute.
plan.
Oh, all you mortals, not looking at the lady, but us, you love is something that only one person can have. Look at each of us. Do not lie. Have you all not felt hemeros for each other? Or frateros? Love of friends or family? Love knows no bounds. It doesn't conform to labels or restrictions. My love for one person does not impact my love for another. My heart
That
does
is
not belong to one, but many.
My heart belongs to all you guys.
that is well
I'm
said.
not.
Perhaps, though, I more so say that the bond of two people that you love very deeply could be strengthened through words.
Once again, I will state that while I have never been in a relationship with somebody, Mirio, I would hope that you would consider your relationship with Jason to be deeper than that.
Deeper? No. Different. You love him differently than I love you. It takes a different form. I love you, or deeper, a different way. I shall love him. Loves are not the same, so they cannot be compared. That is the nature of love.
Yet they're equal. Wise words. Ruby, you are aware that yourself will die.
Excuse
and
me?
become Titania.
Well aware.
It is similar to the cycle of reincarnation here on Zekra. But a madness will befile your mind. You will lose all semblance of who you were. Are you ready for that sacrifice? In exchange for that power?
Unfortunately, I believe that whether I'm ready or not is not my decision. The decision has seemingly already been made by fate in my eyes.
Mortals have a foolish understanding of fate. It is not a straight path, but rather a diverging river that falls into many creeks and lakes and pools.
Fate is bullshit.
Agreed.
I disagree.
I disagree as well.
You guys want me to go into
Your
theoretical
perception-
quantum physics about this, or
Your perception of it, maybe. But you are the captain of your own ship. You drive the canoe down through the river.
Both captain and sir, PJ.
you don't control where that river
At your
goes. Am I right?
Exactly. I think I have to follow you.
Excuse me?
Now, Fortunalis.
Thank you. Just tangible to answer better your question. Am I ready right now? No. But I think I'm not afraid of death in that sense. Most like how Kamira is. At this point, I have nothing to lose. It seems, the most part.
You are not dying. Just transform.
Like it? Yeah.
Act.
If
What's
that
happening with me is different from what's happening with you.
Ruby, if you shall wish this cup to pass from you, would you pass it? If this cup could pass from your lips without you taking a drink of the wine that lie within, would you pass it?
Don't know.
Take some time to think about the answer to that question. You will need one in the future.
In future?
Time.
Tell.
It's a fickle thing. Trinellis.
Thank you.
The Harna are known for many things. But you were raised in the ways of the spirits, with specialities in anointing the sick, protecting the more vulnerable stage of the cycle. The shamans, the medicine men, and hierophants. It seems that this task was specially catered to you, but you have difficulty with it. Why?
The task of ushering up other people to the grave? Or the grave? Which task are you talking about?
All of the above.
I'd say it's a change of perspective. What death is has become very different to, from what I've experienced after I lost Leah and after I lost Sylvie. I've understood the pain that comes with death a lot more. I've understand how much more permanent it is. We were always taught that there's always that death is never really the end, but it feels that way more and more. The more people who are around us die, the more we see. We leave a trail of bodies where we go. And that has
That you do.
changed my perspective.
And should you be willing to shepherd in a new age, there is a possibility of your son acting as he was meant to, as he was born to. The woman of the wind picked him from a young age. And I don't think that she is done with him just yet.
If it can save him and if it's what he desires. The destiny is his to claim that fate is his decision and his alone.
But will you guide him on that?
If it's what he wishes. Always, of course.
You are also aware that, or I should ask, are you aware that the flower in which you used to try to save your wife's material body was used in the wrong purpose?
I now understand that. That wasn't what it was intended for.
She remains able to heal these spirits of their madness and rage. Take wisdom from her, and it is quite possible that a material body will take her spirit from these realms, inciting a new seed of growth for the new age. There are many possibilities set before you, Trinellis Greenbeard. It is only The path which you take is indicative of the choices that you make now. And whether you are willing to relive and learn from the past. Those are all my questions. I think I have one extra left that I will ask and see if I can get a general answer. What do you think of the tea? I'm trying a new flavor out. What does it need more of?
Here, these. And I pull out some of the mushrooms I use in my own.
Bulls.
Grind these up. That should help. Give it a bit more of an earthy taste.
Roshi sort of like grinds it up in places and then I mix it out almost like instantaneously. Takes a sip. You're right.
I don't know too much about life and death, but I do know tea.
Yes. I appreciate the knowledge.
I thought it was wonderful. Thank you.
Well, I think it is now time you leave my presence. Do you wish your final question answered?
Yes. What did you teach Becca?
And you watched as her wing sets out on the table, and you can see almost like looking into a pool of water. You can see the imagery of Pekka, and she is sort of the portion of the story that was glazed over was these following words. The owl taught her the importance of wisdom. Owl taught Pekko how to heal the wails of the body and mind, and how to steady the mind.
Are you able to remember that?
Can you? Do you remember it?
I wrote that down.
That's what notes are for.
No, I'm writing it down.
Taught her the importance of wisdom,
like-
to study the mind and heal the ails of the body. That's all I got.
I missed the last line.
I'll go ahead and repeat it then. The owl taught her the importance of wisdom. Owl taught Pekko how to heal the wails of the body and mind, and how to steady the mind.
Okay, got it. It's not in exact order, but it's fine.
Yeah, the bullet points.
Spark notes.
You see, it almost seems like
Sorry, these are in my Trinellus notes with all the art.
Yeah. It seems that all of these visuals, they have it's like the learning bit almost has like a very training montage feel to it. That Pekko is learning from each of these guides. Pekko came to be the mother of the tribe of the trees. Her people foster growth of the wild and free. They are most connected, the beasts and creatures of the land, connecting their spirit to all that lives. They represent the middle of the cycle, the towering trees branching out. And you watch as the owl kind of turns and looks at Trinellus and says, "For those who live recklessly and unafraid, with an untethered spirit, the spirit of Pekko lives on." And as kind of the story comes to a close, as you kind of watch it from a pool of water, you watch as, once again, the wing falls across the table, and you can see that left in the presence is a small piece. Tapestry.
Sorry, I'm just moving all of them onto one. Because I feel like this is a puzzle.
Your time here has been delightful.
Thank you.
But it is time that we Otherwise.
Safe now.
Be on our way. Thank you.
Au revoir.
Okay.
All right. Then I guess it's on to Fox.
Yeah.
I feel like this is what's gonna personally annoy me the most.
Oh, as we're walking out, I
Slice
just
of
kind of,
life.
as I'm walking out, I kind of say to everybody, by the way, Mother answered me. Remember Mom how Rock answered one of my pleas.
Oh.
How so?
I take out a bologna sandwich. Look what she got
Oh,
me.
stupid.
Are you serious,
You
Miriam?
guys see
Did you
that
use a divine
A-
intervention on that?
Sorry,
You actually use a divine intervention to get a sandwich.
a bologna.
and with that, we're gonna go ahead and take a break.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
But
Bologna hasn't been invented yet.
We're gonna break. We're gonna break for 5 minutes, and we'll
Whoa.
be back here at 9:25.
So it says there's a lot of
Thank you.
users in chat.
Oh, is there?
1,
Hey,
2,
what?
3,
Why are they here? Don't they know about
8,
it?
9, 10, 11. Like
Well,
12, including me.
Well,
and,
thank you guys for joining. We never really have this many people joining.
Yeah, I didn't
Also-
expect our viewers to be more than
Not that
double
many
digits.
Yeah,
This is our. Wait, it says
I did.
4 viewers, but there's a lot. It says there's a list of users in chat. I don't know how it works, so I don't know.
Well, maybe we
Hey,
have
guys.
maybe we have more people like over. Well, anyway, for anybody who's watching right now, thank you. It actually really means a lot.
you. I'll be right back and get
So
food.
yeah, we're gonna be taking a break for about 5 minutes. We'll be back at like 10:25. Just sit tight. Go get something to eat.
Hey,
Thank
Aaron,
you for
Get
joining
some
us.
water. Make sure to
Here.
hydrate.
I have a physics
We'll be right
question.
back.
So 1 second.
All right.
Hi,
we're back.
everybody. We're back. Okay.
Ooh.
So, you guys kind of finished up your conversation and completed the trial of Owl and are deciding to move on to the Fox's challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You kind of continue to move through the maze, whittling your way around. You make it to the final arched doorway, where written in drip runes are the words, "Riddle me this."
Oh, yay.
Oh yay,
Get
indeed.
those cogs turning, guys.
Ash is just waiting until we get to go through the waterfall and fight the strength bear.
Alright. I'm just gonna.
Because then he'll actually be, like, useful.
Okay. So what's the riddle?
Fight the strength
we don't
bear.
know.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna knock on the door.
I said when we entered this place, I called dibs on the strength bear.
I love that you call it a strength bear.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Strong
Okay.
bear.
Kaden, you are precious and we love you.
You kind of, as you knock on the door, you kind of see words begin to kind of like be written on, and like engraved
Right.
onto the door. What has no beginning and has no end represents the cycle and the cycle's end.
Death. Camille says like immediately, death.
And the
My patience.
I'm like, I second that.
doors open up.
Out of
As you say
character.
death. As you say death, come here.
Right.
Oh boy.
The doors open up into this dark, domed room. You actually kind of feel yourself like your head presses up to the ceiling a little bit for some of our taller folks. But kind of at the center, it seems to be about 20 feet high. And then kind of, it's a semicircle. And it is just pitch black. What is not alive, but grows? Does not breathe, but needs air. And you suddenly see that the domed room. One second. That it seems that
Yeah,
the
hold on, let
domed,
him finish.
yeah, that the dome room begins to have these like weeds and vines wrap up on the side of your legs. The ceiling transforms into this beautiful sunset sky, dotted with stars beginning to make themselves known. And all these like vines and tall savanna grasses begin to kind of envelop and wrap all over you. And as you shout out fire, Trinellis, you hear there's just yes, but what will you do with that information? As you, again, you can
Time
feel
for
the
don't let the fox waste your time. Let's play answer the riddles as fast as you can.
the weeds and vines are still continuing to kind of crawl up you, and I need everyone to go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
Oh,
Oh jeez.
Oh, I'm done
Within
for.
10 feet of me,
21,
plus
Aaron.
4.
So everybody does.
Uh,
Thank you. That's incredibly helpful for me.
yeah, anyone within 10 feet of me has plus 4 to the save.
thank you. You might have made me succeed.
25 DM.
Okay.
19 DM.
Okay.
DM
What's the
19.
DC?
Alrighty. Okay, I still want to know what everybody got.
15.
Okay.
1 and 2.
Okay. So did anyone get lower? Did anyone get lower than a 19?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're kind of all begin to kind of have these like vines and leaves, like kind of, you know, it's not what I wanted. Sorry, it's being rude to me. That's not what I wanted. Sorry, I'm trying to get the damn thing to play.
What
Music's
about
not
it?
playing. My music isn't playing. Jim. Jim, please be nice.
Jim.
Jim, are you playing?
Jimbo, my
What?
beloved.
Jim's being a
Jimbo!
dick.
How you
Jim is
doing
being
there,
a dick.
Jimbo?
Can someone try the magic touch and see if you have the magic touch to get Jim to
I
not
have
be
the magic
rude?
touch.
Okay.
Aren't
take
you their
that the wrong way.
their parent?
You are their parent. I think Charles just has an affinity for being parents of just
Yes.
various.
Agreed.
But Jim is not listening to you either.
But Jim is not listening.
Jim, you're grounded.
Why is it doing this?
Put Jim in horny jail.
There we go. There he goes. There I
Alright.
see the thread of horny tail. Got him.
Alright, so. Idea. Alright.
Okay, so Ruby, you do take
I also
2
think
points of bludgeoning damage as you begin to feel yourself being squeezed as these like giant little devil's snare plants kind of envelop themselves all around you. You all are considered grappled, but you don't take damage.
All of us?
Someone
you
do
do not take damage
something.
though.
Anybody have fire?
I'm going to use Druidcraft. It says you can light a small campfire, so I'm going to just use the vines as kindling and make a campfire.
Okay, as Trails, you cast Druidcraft on fire right in the center of everything. You watch as the fire extends and seems to burn like paper away at all of these vines that envelop themselves around each of you, and you are no longer grappled. And it falls back away, and it says, you can hear the not bad at all. I can fly like a bird, but not in the sky, which can always swim and can always dry. I say goodbye at night and at morning high. I am a part of you. What am I? I follow and lead you as you pass. Dress yourself in black, and my darkness lasts. I flee the light, but without the sun, your view of me would be gone. And you watch as suddenly the lights go out, as you are in complete and total darkness.
Shadow or darkness?
Yellow death.
Is it not playing for anybody else? It stopped playing for me.
Yeah, it was
Jarvis is
very
being dumb.
skippy and like jittery when it was playing, and now it's stopped.
That's strange. Okay.
I'll see if I can get it to play, because Mirio is not an intelligent one, so he has no point in, he has no purpose here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is rough for
And-
me because I Kanan think I know the answers, but I'm playing a character with an intelligence of 7.
Hey, mine's 12! That's what mine used to be before I used all my abilities for
Mine's
improvements.
10.
And you also don't know, like me.
But I'm going to take a page out of your book, Shadow.
You say Shadow.
I said Shadow.
Yeah. Mario did. Oh, sorry.
Okay, you say it.
Oh. Nothing?
Can you repeat the riddle, actually?
The riddles do not get repeated, unfortunately.
Okay, but in defense, immediately after you said the riddle, a bunch of us started trying to fix this.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
Is he playing
I'll
yet?
give it to you. Oh yeah, we'll take a pause and try to fix this
Yeah.
first. So
Oh my
has
freaking
paused.
Jim!
why is it being stupid?
Maybe try a different thing, different song.
Here, hold on. Stop typing in there. Here, fuck.
Okay. Jim, you're
Fired.
You're fired. Jim, you're fired.
Eating your bot.
I'm sorry, Lucas just typed exclamation mark poop in
Hey,
the
Aaron,
bot
what's
spam
the
channel.
Alright, no one else type anything. No one else type anything.
Okay.
Alright? Everyone, stop typing. Alright.
I don't know what you're talking
We
about.
can't spam, otherwise it doesn't work.
They're
Wait a
allowed to
minute.
spam and bot spam?
Okay. Jim.
Wow, our viewers must be enjoying
Yeah,
this.
blue-
What a
blue-
treat.
Yeah, this is the content you follow
This is
us
the content
for.
you
Yeah, this is why you decided to watch
This is why
us.
you tune every Friday to watch us.
Indeed.
I just said
Does it take
exclamation mark
any-
bunger in
Well,
the
as
chat.
you guys are all kind of like, you know,
I can't see the
meandering around
DM,
this
so I'm gonna leave
project.
and come back, because I think of all people, I should probably see her.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Why is technology stupid? I don't like it.
They're
Great
Actually,
question.
Because the internet is sustained on like one Jenga piece
it
that
is.
needs to be continuously updated, or the entire thing will collapse.
Jim isn't working, so we're gonna put Jim away for now.
Okay.
Bye
So-
bye, Jim.
So,
Traitor.
Try harder.
traitor indeed.
Lousy
So,
traitor.
You watch as suddenly the lights just dim out as the fire licks its last bit of fuel in the devil's snare, and you hear the voice of that strange kind of like cackling and like mischievous voice say, "I can fly like a bird, but not in the sky, which can always swim and can always dry. I say goodbye at night and morning high. I'm a part of you, what am I? I follow you and lead you as you pass. Dress yourself in my black, my darkness last. I flee the light, but without the sun, your view of me would be gone."
My
I'm just gonna
shadow.
use Light Bearer and cast light on my gauntlet.
You watch as Ashiora, where you cast light at, you see your shadow lick up the side of a wall of this domed room, and you can see that a druidic rune is painted on the wall of the chamber. And as you angle that light, your shadow seems to almost spring to life and like press its hand onto the rune itself, and it begins to glow this bright
the rune say?
green light.
What does it say?
And then suddenly, it seems it's his past.
Okay.
And it seems that as the room begins to glow, it opens up into a door. That the shadow then opens up
That's why.
and like
Run
kind of
through the
stands at
door.
attention.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ash.
I solved it. He like turns around and gives a thumbs up.
Just towards the door.
I run through the door.
And on we go.
Alrighty.
My gauntlet is just light.
Alrighty. In the next chamber, you can see, and kind of, it's another similar room, kind of the same half semicircle dome shape. And you can see that the chamber has now, from total darkness, changed to a high noon with a cloudless sky. On the outskirts of the chamber, you can see a ring of fire is slowly licking its way on through kind of this, on like kind of the sides of the chamber, slowly encroaching towards all of you in the center. And you hear, again, that same mischievous voice say, "The cloud was my mother, and the wind is my father. My son is the cool stream, and my daughter is the fruit of the land. A rainbow is my bed, the earth my final resting place. What am I?" You have
Probably
1
water.
minute.
The cancer of endless water.
As you say that, you see that the fire is continuing to kind of flick out towards you. It seems
The
like if you
canter of endless water.
He uses that.
Rain.
okay.
Jug.
Come here. Decanter of endless
Oh,
water.
oh yeah.
As
Sorry.
the fire is beginning to
Camille,
the ring of
Camille,
fire
like,
is moving
fumbles.
closer and closer. You can like
Camille,
fumble
like,
around for it. The
He's
heat
he's
kind of
like, what?
growing
He
on the
like
side of your
looks
face.
awkwardly like, what? He's like, oh yeah, and he like fumbles it out, and it like he's gonna do geyser and just like spray water all
Okay,
over the.
You cast out geyser, and you watch as the rain kind of like semi-rain kind of falls along it falls within the fire and begins to and puts out the flames.
Oh, the piece out the middle?
I shout out
And
snow.
finally, you see that the rain then transforms into drops of dew on a spider web. And you can see that you are all kind of like stuck and restrained there as it seems to be kind of like, as you can see that this dome kind of has turned into it's now like kind of a twilight in the chamber, and the floor is just this spider web. And each of you are kind of stuck to what this web is. And you can see that a giant spider its hairy legs kind of moving on in this strange motion. Its large eyes leering at each of you.
So, is anybody within 5 feet of me? Because I'm about to
You
word
see-
call out of
You
here.
see the spider begins
No,
to
no, no, no.
and crawls up to you first, Ares. It begins
Yes.
to weave its legs around you. And I would like everyone else to leave the call.
Oh
Okay.
my god!
Okay, just
Leave the call or turn off?
Why don't you guys just go
leave
on?
it turn us off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like
Ares, the spider kind of like crawling up to its pinchers. And it begins to sort of weave its way at your feet until its entire body is almost like instantaneously, it seems to have just cocooned you within its its webbing. And you hear from the pinchers of the spider. First, think of a person who lives in. And as it kind of like reaches there, you kind of like just have your mouth poked out. And then the spider falls off of you and goes on to the next person. If you would not mind sending in... I'll say you're welcome to stay here because you're the person streaming everything. But if you could send in Muriel for me.
Yeah, sure. Let me go grab him. Muriel, you are wanted. Where's Muriel?
Zeke left before Ev.
Yeah.
Where's Muriel?
So Ev was there during the cannibalism stuff.
Hey, does anybody know where Muriel is?
No.
Oh, no.
Hold on. He wasn't in the other call, but give me 1 sec. Let me...
You're good. I can actually text him. Indeed.
Okay, let me make sure that we're all good. There we go. Now we're back up. And I can be seen again. And stream.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Now, let's play the game. Where is Lucas?
Where? I'm calling.
Okay.
Muriel. Join the call, you dingus. No, you didn't pick up. I thought you picked up. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna have PJ going.
Do you want me to like take off my headphones or anything?
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good.
Why? I told them to leave for 2 minutes. Goddamn minutes. Now they're gone. Ugh. Players, am I right, DMs? It do be like that. It really do. It really do. Well, I hope all of your nights are going well. My players just decided to leave call and are not returning, which stinks. But you know, it do be like that. This is frustrating. I'm frustrated. Okay. Comes like effortlessly wraps up Ares in its web, kind of totally encasing him, and he is incapacitated. And then begins to just like within that same moment scuttle up towards you, and you watch as its webbed hands kind of sticky and has like this weird at the end of it. Its pinchers clicking. And it begins to do the same thing to you, starting at your feet and wrapping you all the way up. And you are just kind of stuck to this web, unable to move. And you hear its pinchers kind of whisper into your ear, "Who deals in secrets and tells naught but lies. Okay. Next, could we have PJ? Could you please send in Trinellis for me?
When I do that, do I come back?
Yes, please.
Okay. Wait, where did I think Zach just left the other chat.
You know what? Let's just have everybody come back because this is not working.
And then you can just like deafen us.
Yep.
It's not raw spam. Spam is pre-cooked.
I know.
Everyone?
Okay. Well, we're not doing that. It would be a cool thing, but I could not get a hold of anybody. So, you watch as this spider begins to kind of scuttle its way up to each of you.
Leave me alone in jail.
And kind of like it seems to have encased both PJ and Aries in this like thick webbing, and almost like they're cocooned in this, and kind of looks like they might be struggling to breathe.
That's unfortunate.
You're not really sure, but you can hear the kind of like, and you hear then the kind of the strange voice once again comes back out. First, think of a person who lives in disguise, who deals in secrets and tells naught but lies. Next, tell me what's always the last thing to mend, the middle of middle and end of end. And finally, give me the sound often heard during the search for a hard-to-find word. Now string them together and answer me this. Which creature would you be unwilling to kiss?
I got it.
Go. Say it.
I got it. Okay, so hear me out. The sound you make when you don't know is Yeah. Obviously the middle of middle and end of end is going to be D. And a con is someone who deals lies. So a condom.
Then you watch as the spider
I just look at the spider. I want to kiss that.
scuttles its way up to you, Mirio, and begins to envelop and encase you as you are kind of like restrained, and she's like, as Mirio, these spidery, hairy legs kind of wrap itself around you as its web totally cocoons you.
I'm used to this from Metropolis.
I want to kiss that. The answer is
Was that right or wrong? I what?
Yes, you are stuck to the web. It is like you are able to talk and to speak, but you are stuck there.
Wait, I don't get it. Was that right or wrong?
Spider.
That was wrong.
So
that was wrong. I look at the
six
creature.
of my eyes open.
One second,
glint,
Charles.
And I'm just gonna.
It seems that the spider is going up to each creature and waiting for them to give an answer. And if the answer is wrong, they seem to be like, waiting. But it seems to be going up to the singular creature. And Ash, you're kind of like up next.
I'm gonna just a forceful booming voice at the spider. Flee, and I am casting command.
Okay.
Sorry. Also, can you guys check the D&D discussion thing? Channel to make sure
that is a
DC 17 Wisdom saving.
Okay, that is a 21.
Shit.
Okay, as you say, flee, you watch as the spider just sort of like cocks its head and begins to once also, at the same speed it was doing with your other two companions, just wrap you up in its webbing. It's like hairy, spindly legs going under your armor, and you can kind of hear its pinchers clicking at the side of you. It's legs just totally. You are.
Aaron,
am I able to do somatic components?
Aaron.
Unfortunately, no. Yes.
Blue sent a message in the D discussion.
I was just wondering if we could end at 10.
Yeah. Okay. He watches the next creature. Scuttles up to you, Trinellis. Scuttles up to you, Trinellis.
I say a spider.
You watch it cocks its head and turns into the visage of a fox. Very clever. Clever indeed.
I just saw the first thing I didn't want to kiss, and I saw that.
Yes!
You've passed, it seems. Quicker than I expected, but you passed. And you watch as the fluffy tunnel kind of skids past you. I will provide you with the information you seek. Kind of perching itself up. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
All right, cool.
Well, can you let us go first?
Oh, the webs fell away. I'm sorry, I should have said that. The webs kind of fell away as the riddle was answered.
But Aaron, session's over, but like, I was wondering if Ruby and I would be able to do a one-shot real quick.
Right now? Okay.
Just so you guys know, we're still alive.
I would like that, but I have to be at a rehearsal tomorrow at 8:30.
I'm excited to go to extraterrestrial adventures with my new spell.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
Hope
Yeah,
all
thank
have
you
a
all
great
so
night.
much. All these new players, not players, all these new viewers. It was really great for you to join us.
Welcome, friends. Thank you so much.
Yay!
Bye.
Okay. We'll see y'all
Toodles.
next week. Well, not next week. We don't have a session next week, but the week after that. Bye.